Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be doing the my kind of late reaction to SmackDown, but you know how it is. I'm very busy and um I'm busy today, but I wanted to fit in this little reaction to SmackDown. Obviously it was in Orlando, Florida, so you already know we gotta have the NXT stars there. And the show started with Wes Lee, who hasn't had exactly the best week after losing his North American title, and Dragon Lee, who obviously has got a bright future ahead if WWE books him right. But I trust, you know what? By now, I trust HBK with anything. I would trust HBK with my life, to be honest with you, because his booking right now is so darn good. But we got things started with the Fatal Five Way. I, there was a report earlier in the day that LA Knight was not going to be pushed into after SummerSlam, and I believed it. I took a risk in posting it, and it seems like that I was in the right to post it. A lot of people were telling me, "Oh my God, there's no way LA Knight's going to lose this match," and he did. It was a great Fatal Four Way match. Uh, um, you know, every competitor had their own kind of offense, but in the end, Rey Mysterio won. That's the part that I'm kind of shocked about. I thought, Sheamus could have been someone that could have been a winner. You've got, you know, you got LA Knight there very obviously, but Cameron Grimes not. I don't mean Cameron Grimes would have been. It's too early to just pull the trigger on Cameron Grimes or anything. I do like this story a little bit because of the aspect that LWO needs something. And I said it on Twitter, LWO needs something or else people are going to think that LWO is just not all that serious. Because the last time they had something big was Santos and Zelina qualifying for Money in the Bank. But the last real big thing was Zelina battling Rhea Ripley at Backlash. Besides that, they've been sprinkled in. But I do like this. I think Rey versus Santos is going to be great. Rey versus Santos is going to be a beautiful ass chemistry match. But I think that Santos is going to come out ahead of Rey. It's all about the putting over process. Obviously, we've got some more NXT photos from SmackDown. You've got the debatably the best tag team in all of NXT, the Creeds, who should be up on the main roster by now. I have no idea what anybody's waiting for. But nice of the Creeds to interact with Jey Uso. You already know that Usos and Creed brothers would be tag team match of the year. Stop capping. But this was a good segment. Also, Tony D and Stacks were there. They're running one of my favorite NXT storylines at the moment with the whole Dawn goes to jail storyline. But, more NXT stars. You've got the biggest one of them all, in my opinion, at Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. Carmelo Hayes, the man that's about to beat Dragunov at the Great American Bash. But in all seriousness, now, I think Dragunov, there's a very serious chance that he beats Carmelo Hayes. I think you look at what they're doing with Melo right now, it just seems like Triple H has made up his mind that he really wants Melo on the main roster. It sucks that but Sean has adjusted to losing stars well, and it just seems like maybe Triple H has made up his mind. He's like, yeah, I want Carmelo Hayes on the main roster. You've also got Tiffany Stratton, who I think will be NXT Women's Champion for a decent time into the future. She's got a long time to go before the main roster. I would say Tiffany Stratton's likely the WWE draft whenever the next one is. Then we had a North American championship match made official. Butch was random, but I always love to see it. We're still anxiously waiting. The boys are sitting and waiting for him to switch his name to Pete Dunne. We're waiting for Triple H to pull that trigger. But, seeing Dom main event 3 times a week, it doesn't feel like we're living in the right universe, but I don't mind it at all because like I said, Dom is a big heel right now, and he's impressed the hell out of me in the way that he's wrestled. But Shawn Michaels being on SmackDown, super cool. And, Butch versus Dom was a very creative match, and I really liked it. But then we had my favorite part of the night, Io Sky versus Charlotte. The biggest hope out of this for me was that they were going to give time. Obviously, I was expecting a DQ, But I didn't want it to be a DQ like 5 minutes in. But spoiler alert, Bianca wasn't even on this show. It was Asuka, and obviously, yes, Asuka needs to be on the show. She's the champion. But obviously, I'm expecting Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka to have an epic brawl next week in the last lead ups to SummerSlam. But as far as I'm looking at it, um, Io and Charlotte had a great match, but my biggest problem is how slow Charlotte was going in the match. Because Io Sky, this is what she thrives on. Io is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world because she can do very improbable moves at a quick pace. And it just seemed like Charlotte was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, and I don't think that's not Io's fault, obviously. That's obviously, Charlotte's just couldn't adjust to Io at all. That's all that was. People may get mad at me, but just watching the match, if you watch literally the highlight that will give you a answer to this is the Hurricane Rana on the outside. Charlotte sold that shit so late. I don't think she was expecting Io to twist her body that quickly. There were some moves that were late. And I think that was just mostly due to, Charlotte and Io, this is their first ever matchup, I believe. So, I think later down the road, once Charlotte adjusts, then Io and Charlotte's gonna be an incredible ass match. But Charlotte winning clean, do I like that? Honestly, I don't mind it that much. Charlotte does have an excuse. She's gonna be competing for the women's title. If Io were to beat her clean, there'd be a lot of people complaining online anyways. But, if there's any match that deserves a DQ, it's this one. Because both of these women need to keep winning. And especially Charlotte leading up to the PLE, or we're sick of seeing Money in the Bank winners lose. This match should have had a DQ. It probably should have been Asuka. But overall, I loved watching a full-length match between Io and Charlotte. It was good. But it didn't stop there because Shotzi would make her appearance on the show on the Jumbotron. And she would play mind games with Bayley. I love what they're doing with Shotzi right now. I really think something's cooking. And I think something's cooking that Shotzi is going to try to get Io and Bayley separate. Bianca tried this years ago. She literally flat out said out loud, but it wasn't working. Damage Control wouldn't break up. But maybe it's someone that you never expected to be able to break up Damage Control, Shotzi. And Io seems a little bit annoyed that Bayley's paranoid. It's like Io understands that Shotzi's just trying to get in their head, but Bayley isn't quite understanding. And Shotzi wants to target Bayley in particular because I feel like Shotzi has got more to spill. I feel like she's not targeting Io because Shotzi knows that Bayley's a manipulator. She knows Bayley is a messed up person. And I think this storyline has got more legs to it. I think this is a storyline that's got a lot of legs to it. I'm very excited to see how this happens when Bayley is facing Shotzi. It's a storyline that just feels like it's fresh. I hope it doesn't affect Io's Money in the Bank cash-in, though I've got that fear that it will. But this is definitely a storyline that is very, very fresh and very, very good. Next up, Santos beating Austin Theory clean. I was shocked by that. But, I just gotta say the match was fine, but, I used to be an Austin Theory defender, but how can you defend what's going on with Austin Theory right now? There's no defending it. I want Santos to take the title. Santos is talented. Santos is great. Santos is champion material. I'm not going to be overwhelmed by the LA Knight fans saying that he is boring, because Santos is not only great in LWO, but Santos is a phenomenal wrestler. Just people gotta stop letting their agendas take over too quick. Next up, we've got probably the shocking moment. You thought Carmelo Hayes and Trick were only going to show up on WWE TV screens once? No. Bobby Lashley just decided to have a little bit of a chill conversation backstage with Melo and Trick. Absolutely unreal. I really hope this leads to the Hurt Business 2.0. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at this. The drip on this photo is crazy. If this photo happens, I'm gonna be so happy. Like, we need a Hurt Business 2.0. We just do. I'm saying it right now. This is the perfect Hurt Business, and I know that a lot of people want Cedric and Shelton, but if there's any alternatives, this is the way. Next up, obviously, we don't want to talk much about North American title match because Butch and Dom didn't really catch my interest. But Pretty Deadly came out. Pretty Deadly proving exactly why they are geniuses. That Elton Prince, who is out with a separated shoulder, and it just seems like the way WWE is describing it, he will not be in action for a while. Good. This was so hilarious, and I hope Pretty Deadly get more TV time. But next up, we've got Pure Cinema on the way from Orlando. Roman and Jay, we're basically doing a contract signing. It's tribal combat, so the match at SummerSlam is no DQ. But this was pretty much WWE saying, "Here's Cinema, shove it up the throat." But it was. If people don't know why they didn't attack each other, it's tribal combat. It's honor. They're not going to attack each other. They're going to wait till SummerSlam. No family, other people can get involved. It's going to be Jay versus Roman, one-on-one war. And to me, at the very least, this is just perfect. And obviously, I was thinking about other stuff, but looking at it now, and it's obviously very perfect. And Solo tried to break that rule, and Roman wasn't having it. Solo paid for breaking the rule, and I wonder how Solo's gonna feel about this whole Roman kind of like fully agreeing to Jay's terms. Roman's got to get that confidence in his champion. We'll have to wait and see. But the ending of SmackDown was so good. It was great. Tribal combat and everything, just perfect. And I think that's a good way to end off the video. When I get into my SummerSlam predictions, I'm gonna have a hard time predicting this match because I have no idea what's gonna go down between Jay and Roman. I thought I did, but obviously this is a much more harder prediction than it seems. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.